All right, what is up, sports fans? We are back for another episode of The Fan in the End. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle. And to the right of me, as always, the big man himself, Mr. Ben True. Ben, how are we feeling today?
Man, feeling good, man. It feels like the draft has come and gone. Feels like I've aged 10 years just watching all these round one, round two, and then rounds 3 through 7. But hey, man, we were chopping up last night. South Florida Tribune, and now here we are on the fans in the end. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, and speaking of which, did you see the numbers, dude? Did you see the numbers? Because I seen the numbers. And it's bad. It is bad for the NBA now. So when you look at the NFL draft numbers, right, just from day one, from day one alone, right,
13 points.
Look at the peak amount of numbers for the NBA Finals, the championship, the finals, not the draft, not a playoff game, the finals. It's over. The NBA should pack it up, and whoever's their marketing team, whatever, they need to put an end to that because the product on the court is getting harder and harder to watch for obvious reasons. But the NFL draft and the NFL in general has been kicking them in the teeth for the better part of the last five years or so, and it don't look like it's going to end anytime soon.
Just to see those numbers, obviously the NFL is king, but just to see those numbers, we comparing the draft to the NBA Finals. We talking about Game 6, Game 7, Game 5, Celtics, and then people saying, hey, man, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Al Horford. There go Travis Hunter. Guy just came out of Colorado. There go, Mason Graham and Cam Ward. And that's just the first round. I think it averaged around 3 to 6 million per round. Just we got millions of people watching round 7 like it's round 1. I think we finna add a piece because here's why. We have interest in so many different ways, Steve. We got interest. I want to see what my team's gonna do. I want to see what my rivals are gonna do. I want to see what those teams around me are doing, and I want to see the strategy unfold. Oh, I see why they got him. They're trying to do this. The NBA, outside of a couple of players, you don't know nobody anymore. Like the Cleveland Cavaliers just beat the brakes off of the Miami Heat by 50-something points in the playoffs.
I think it was 38 by halftime, but still,
it was crazy. It was so yeah. And the NBA has this problem. If the stars in the NBA aren't necessarily aligning like they used to, LeBron is still one of the faces, and he's 40 years old. You got Giannis. You got different guys. I know you got Luka, and you got guys coming out.
Devin Booker's still one of those guys. Trae Young's still one of
but here's the thing, though. When Devin Booker and Damian Lillard and Kevin Durant and these guys. Well, it was Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. They aren't making the playoffs. They ain't even making it. The Suns didn't make it. So I think for the NBA, the one thing, we grew up, Stephen, when you had 3 teams, meaning you had the Celtics in the East Coast, you had the Lakers on the West Coast, and you had Chicago. They bridged the whole thing together. It's not like that now. If the NBA players walked out without their jerseys on, without their names on the back, you like, I know he's tall. I don't know who that is. I know. Listen, Joel Embiid, I get it, right? But here's what it really be. Paul George, great podcast. Love it. You heard again. And people are saying that stuff. It's like now they say branding has become, primary. The game has become secondary because guys are trying. And look, I get it. They're trying to build their brands. But there's a certain pass rusher that plays for Dallas. He has a podcast, and he can't wait to talk after the game. Problem is, you lost the game you just talked about. So that's what the NBA is dealing with. You got a lot of current players who build a brand, not just LeBron, but it's a lot of them saying, yeah, man, LeBron used to have a podcast with his current head coach. Yeah. JJ Redick used to have a podcast with LeBron. Then he became the head coach of the Lakers. That's the only reason why LeBron got drafted in the second round. Anyway, NBA, to all you NBA players that's mad at the NFL, give a better product. You're gonna get better viewership. Now I get it. You're gonna get viewership, but I would draft first round gets more views than Game 6 in the finals. And when people say, "Well, how many people watch the Super Bowl?" You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
You don't want that kind of hurt.
No,
you don't want that kind of hurt.
Our halftime show is gonna get more viewership than Game 6 of y'all fight. Hey, I'm just saying, and it doesn't matter who's performing, Kendrick or not. I'm just saying, but yeah, hey, NBA do better because wow. I mean, wow, and listen, and don't compare games to our games. Don't do that, y'all. Y'all play like 150 of them. I get it, but I get it. But it's like, don't do. Hey, the NFL is king, and that's with us having games overseas, and we doing two. Listen, we're taking home games away from these fans to play overseas, and I guarantee you, our viewership overseas is probably higher. So even we ain't in the States, people are watching. So hey, man. Shout out to the league. They're getting it done.
Yeah, right. Shout out to the league is right. And, and speaking of wild things, I don't know if you've seen this.
Oh, no.
For his biceps, he's out. Just signs a big contract after, all the craziness that went down there in the Bay Area and San Francisco and, tore his biceps. So is that something you think early on if Denver can sneak into the playoffs, that's something he could do, or is his season over?
Yeah, I mean, for the way that he plays, yeah, it's probably Dre Greenlaw is a really, really good player, man. I mean, he really, really is. It's just tearing his Achilles running onto the field in the Super Bowl. It's something I'll never. It was demoralizing when he ran on the field. I mean, I'm just remember watching Fred, one of those guys, going, "Oh my God." To try to make a comeback in 2024 when he probably shouldn't have. If we're being honest, 2024 should have been an anomaly. Look, man, you got an Achilles tear. That's usually career ending, not just season ending. Then the fallout, the way the contract or lack thereof didn't happen in San Francisco. They get him. Talk about they starting safety. They both go to Denver. Now you tell your bicep. You're probably out for the year. If you are Dre Greenlaw, you're saying, dude, what is up? I got this. Because sometimes, Stevie, what people don't get is that's what you have to deal with in the league that you never had to deal with in college or high school. Man, injuries. They start piling up because the level of physicality that happens in the NFL is crazy. And he's a linebacker, so he's hitting somebody every play, whether it's a wide receiver, running back, old lineman, fullback. He's doing it, and he's a physical linebacker, him and Fred Warner. But the one thing he did, when people ask why don't people want to sign franchise tags, that's why. I don't want to sign a fully guaranteed 1-year contract. I tear my bicep and that's it. I want to sign a multi-year deal because guess what? Denver is saying, hey man, it's gonna hurt us because we invested a lot in him. But if Bo Nix can go to the playoffs as a rookie, maybe we can make a playoff run as his second year, and maybe we get and plus I think they 17 games. They ain't added that 18th yet. It's coming. That 18th game is coming, But that's the part of it. See, you got to eat that stuff. All season,
they got 2 more years to make it work. They got 2 more years to make it work,
and that's why I don't know where it happened because a lot of these veteran players they have their own regimen as far as like training in the off season. They have their own nutritionists. They have their own trainers. But that's why the NFL, they can't stop that. But if it was up to the league, you wouldn't have your own trainers because you hear, man, think about this. You the GM of Denver, and all of a sudden he walk in the office and somebody say, Dre Greenlaw just tore his bicep. What? What was he doing? Well, they say he was, lifting. So now he got to come in and have a private meeting, closed door meeting with the owner and the GM and the coach. And they saying, dude, like, Sean, they was like, dude, that's gonna hurt, man. That because he was a key component to that defense, but it's the nature of the beast. Sean Payton is like, dude, what what I got to do, man? Like, I had a rookie quarterback last year. Now I'm bringing some veterans over here. I got defensive player of the year, Patrick Surtain. I was going to have an all-pro safety, all-pro linebacker. Now we got to make up for that money, and we got to make up for that production. The money is one thing. The production is everything. I mean, that's why you got backup. So the backup just went to the starter, and the backup to the backup just became the true backup. And now they're telling the new starter, hey, what do you be doing? I be training. Do we need you at the facility so we can see what you're doing, monitor what you're doing, monitor what you're eating? Right. Are you drinking milk? Are you eating your vitamins? Hey, man, and these boys in their 20s, but they probably got the body of, late 40-something year olds early because and Dre Greenlaw has taken a beating. And dare I say, man, back to the rehab table.
Yeah. Now we're talking about some of the teams, what they're doing and the moving and shaking. I talked to you about this briefly about this one gentleman, but the Bucks got the big line now. They're one of the teams who I think legitimately like, hey, look what the Eagles are doing with the tush push. Let's put an end to that. They brought the big guy Desmond Watson in from Georgia. They already got Via over there already pushing 350 as it was. This is the way you combat the tush push by putting big monsters in the middle of your line. That ain't going to be the easiest things to throw around. But shout out to the Bucks for doing it the right way, not being the crybaby way, the Packers way, the Buffalo Bill way. They're doing it how you're supposed to do it, through the draft, through competing, things of that nature. Not go crying to the rules committee. It's an unsafe play. This is how you do it. Shout out to the Buccaneers.
There are big human beings, and then there is Big Dez from Florida. Big Dez, 400, and he might be bigger than that now. He might be 4. Listen, Big Dez, real Big Dez, supersized. Dez is so in the bowl game. This is context. So Florida is in the bowl game against Tulane, and this is Dez's senior year, and it's like 3rd-and-1. So they bring in all the beef. So Dez comes in, hey, I'm coming in, I'm eligible, whatever. That the defense for Tulane, like, what are they about? They about to run we about to run a Q. This is the biggest QB sneak ever. It will never be bigger than this. Obviously, Big Dez is gonna have to lose a lot of weight. Not only for his health purposes, but just to be. I mean, listen, think about this. Think about this for a second. If Dez lost 100 pounds, he would still be 364. If he lost 100,
he'd still be bigger than his teammate there.
So I think the thing about it is, Coach Ty Bowles is saying, "Look, man, I'm trying to get some beef, man, and obviously, Dez, you coming an hour and 45 minutes from up the road up there in Gainesville, coming out here to Tampa. Big Dez has proven, man, that he could definitely Dez and the nutritionist, they're gonna have each other on speed dial, But I think." For the tush push is so, dare I say, I've never seen anything like it. Is the sky hook of football plays. You cannot. I mean, the fans can call it tush push, brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. Buffalo, listen to me. The greatest sore loser ever is the person who tried to start doing it, didn't perfect it, got outdone doing it, and now trying to ban it. Really? That's what y'all like, because that's what's going on. You know how much bigger Josh Allen is than Jalen Hurts? Josh Allen outweighs Jalen Hurts by like 35, 40 pounds. He's way bigger than him, taller and bigger. But Jalen Hurts can squat 700, baby. That's 700 pounds coming at you. The goal of any NFL play is to have a play that is unstoppable. Anytime I call it, it works, right? But they try to do it with Dawson Knox. They try to do it with tight ends up there in Buffalo. Josh Allen, they can't get it done. And now, Philly has changed centers. Same result. It's like, once again, this is what we're going to do. Listen, Roger Goodell, any team, when they call the tush push, just let the whole defense come out there. If they play defense, and they still go get. And the thing about the tush push is this. It never just gets an inch. It's getting 2 and 3. It's getting 2 and 3 yards every time.
Let's introduce our guest for this morning, and Mr. Luther Broughton is here with us now.
What's happening, man? What's going on?
How you doing,
I'm
We're
man?
sorry,
doing good,
I'm a
Lou. How you
little
feeling,
I'm a
brother?
little late. I had a couple meetings pop up on me that ran through. I'm
It's all
good,
right.
man.
We
How are
still we
you?
still make it happen, my friend.
Yeah, what's happening? Good
No,
morning.
we were just talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting some more beef to their D line, uh trying to combat the Eagles tush pushing the proper way, not crying like a bunch of babies like the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because Buffalo runs a ton of quarterback sneaks. I mean, call it whatever you want to call it. They do the same thing, and they're very successful with it. Um, you know, um, I don't know how much whining they're doing about it. I know their coach was like saying a few things, but I think Green Bay is on the top of the whining tree on that. Like, come on, man. Listen, it's not. We're not cheating. It's not like the NBA guys where they're taking 7 steps and calling it a gather and a step back, or they had to change the rules because they were foul baiting, pump faking, stopping in front of a guy, jumping back into a guy. They say the NBA guys are more skilled, yet they get to carry. I already can't guard you, and if you get to carry the ball like this, I really can't guard you. So we're not doing anything illegal. It's within the rules. Just stop us. And why can't you? Why can't you? You don't have a quarterback that squats 600, right?
Mhm.
That's part of the success of it. That's a big part of it.
Mhm.
That's why Buffalo's good at it. They've got a big, strong, physical quarterback that sneaks really well, and they get in there and push and scrum. Look, if you want to take it away from us, fine. We'll figure out a way to quarterback sneak with our line and our the strength of our quarterback. I think that's such a kind of a punk move, man. I think getting up there whining about it that in that way is such a punk move. And I'm not ego biased. If Dallas was kicking our butt with the tush push,
Just something we would have to accept at that point in time. Like
there's
we're
something that we have to deal
It would
with.
be way more acceptable if that. Oh my, thank. If Dallas was doing this, Luther, Steven, y'all already know it would be in the rule book. They would be talking about it nationally. Stephen A. would be like, "Yeah, I get it," but it once again, Michael Jackson did not invent the moonwalk. He perfected it. He did not
He
invent it,
perfected it.
and
Right.
that's what Philly did. This comes back to once again Green Bay with their with their history. They ain't been as relevant as of late. They ain't been as
It's so
relevant.
right.
Buffalo is
And,
there.
and they're getting their butts kicked by us twice a year, especially
And,
this
and,
year.
and so just
And
somebody
when they tried to do the tush push, they fell all over themselves, which was hilarious.
I'm just
If you
saying.
watch the clip of Jordan Love trying to quarterback sneak, it was so good, man. It was so good watching that. Right, people started posting that right after they found out Green Bay was the team that was trying to take their ball and run. Like, all right, that's fine, man. Whatever, man.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it
Jordan
I
Love.
definitely is.
think
Like listen, it's
I just listen. If you want to say, look, I don't like it. Why are we allowed to push offensively, but we're not to push defensively? And go with that and say I don't think it's a good thing. I still think it's kind of soft, but I'm okay with that. But the level of bitch acidness
There it
that
is.
that
Yes.
that that, that they came with it, that they came with it.
Yes.
Listen, I'm a nerdy dude that went to Furman. We got a we little old Furman. We would have said, look, we playing Clemson this week. We up in Death Valley. Our average line size is 270. They're 315. And they run the tush push. We got to bow our backs. We not running to the ACC officials and say, "Oh, they're big and strong, and we can't stop them." And they got first round guys, and we might have a guy drafted in the 6th round. No, we have to bow our backs, man. Come on, son.
I mean, that's it, right?
Come,
That sounds like football. This is why This is why these meetings happen. They need to have former players in the back going, and we go, excuse me. You mean to tell me y'all flew in on y'all private jets to hear Sean McDermott, right? And you know, and a bunch of Green Bay. First in Ohio because they lost to Michigan. You got an Ohio congressman trying to ban, planting the flag.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this is what our tax dollars go. Then we got head coaches.
Come on.
We got real head coaches saying, "Can I just say something? Yeah, I think we need to ban the tush push." I was like, "Meeting's over, meeting's adjourned." But yes, once again, we are saying, let me get this straight. Do you know how good Philly got to do it? You're not even trying to alter it. You're trying to.
You know how good you have to be where you've got multiple teams trying to get that thing banned. They're trying to get that thing banned, man. They're trying to get it banned. It's impressive. It's really
I think
impressive.
The funniest part about like when they made the announcements of why they're trying to do with the language, they tried to cite Jason Kelsey sitting there saying he says it's a barbaric play. He's like, that's not what I said. You're twisting my words around. If they want me to go to the meetings and to give my thoughts on it under oath, I'll do that.
I'll do that.
Anything you can to try to get it to stick to a wall.
You know what else is funny? They're saying because of safety. You know that was the least. That play caused the least amount of injuries.
There was no injuries.
And if that's the case, if it's all safety, we should stop drop back passing because quarterbacks get crushed by a pass rush or hey, we already can't hit. I mean, I wish I played now where I couldn't get hit. I actually have more than 5 touchdowns in my career. I mean, we can run around as a tight end and not get hit. I was a smallish tight end. If I played now, I people would have known who I was. They would have said, "Hey, I'm not so small. I could run around and not get hit hard." And I know they have to kind of lay me down on the ground and all that stuff. Like, hey, I'm exposing them ribs. Come on, you got to be tougher than that. You got to be tougher than that. You have to be tougher than that. We're better than that. You know what? I played in Philly, and Sean was one of the coaches. Sean is better than that.
When you heard, that's what I was gonna say. When you heard who it was, because sometimes, let's be honest.
I was surprised.
It's who
I was a little surprised. I was a little surprised that when Sean came out and spoke, I was like,
It's one of those things, though, Luther. Though it's one of those things. A lot of times we hear about it, and we'll say to give the bit. I say, "Well, I didn't hear Sean say that. I haven't heard him say that." And then somebody goes, "I got the video. You got the video of him saying it?" He goes, "Yeah, I think we need to ban it." And I go, "Hold on for a second. Would you be wanting to ban it if you guys were the ones perfecting it?" Well, I said, "Come on, man. Like, listen. I don't like this. We get it. Philadelphia is not the media darling. Philadelphia fans, team, they don't care. We don't care. We care about in Philly. That's it. We don't even care about the whole state of Pennsylvania. We care about Philly, and that's it. And you can respect that. But here's the thing, though. The last thing, because let me tell you what's really happening. No one's talking about. You know they got something else, right? If they do ban it, they got something else in the wings.
They got something else, dude. They're just going to perfect. You know how good Buffalo is at the quarterback sneak. Philly will just do the same thing. We just won't have a scrum. We're going to listen, man. When you have that offensive line, who was great across the board, and you've got a big, strong, physical quarterback, you can do that. The quarterback is a 600+ pound squatter, son. You just don't have. You know who else was really good at quarterback sneak? Tom freaking Brady.
I was waiting to say, literally.
Tom was like 98% on quarterback sneaks. We'll be okay, man. We'll be okay. It's because they were good at it.
This is what I mean.
It's because they were good at it.
If someone says, "Hey, man, I don't think the quarterback should be doing it," well, how much you think Saquon squad? How much you think he scored?
Dude, so I said the same thing. I said, so okay, fine then. So Saquon would have 25 touchdowns, or he would have more. Come on, I'm just,
I'm
I'm,
worn out by it at this point in time.
I'm worn out by it. I'm sick of
I
talking
hope
about it.
in
I
May
really
they put it
want
to
to.
bed. They put it to bed forever. Either adjust the rule where you can't push the ball carrier forward, and we'll
Right, that's
adjust it.
fine. If you adjust the rule to say we can't push ball carriers or now defense could push, then adjust it. If you want to take it away, then take it away. Just stop talking about it. Quit being babies about it. And plus, we're the champs anyways. I
Yeah,
quite
I was
frankly
about to
I
say,
don't
I
care.
said, listen, nothing screams sour grapes more than saying, oh, so you trying to say it's because of the tush push? Stop the. That's why I said, we had a 2,000-yard rusher that sat out week 17 that could have broke the record. That's how good. That's how
That
good
sat out fourth quarters multiple games. Like, come on, son.
People
I
forgot
started
that he was at how much against in that Giant game. He could have destroyed the single game record, his record against
His
the
single
Giants, and
game
he was
record
what did he
against the
say?
Giants.
Let them young kids eat. Let
Mhm.
let Shipley go
I
play.
mean,
Let Gainwell do his thing. I'll sit out.
right.
Like that dude is just something else, man. That's
Yeah,
all.
Saquon. Listen, Saquon is from the Bronx. He left the Bronx to go to Pennsylvania. Went to Penn State. Got drafted back to New York, and they sent him back to Philly. So he was destined to be in Pennsylvania some way, shape, or form. It just happened to be that. I mean, we live in a world where the Giants let Saquon Barkley hit free agency. That's a level of stupidity that I didn't think I would live long enough to see. Hey, Saquon, yeah. Listen, this is a GM. What's up, man? We're gonna let you hit free agency. Really?
He
Huh?
said he said we're not paying our quarterback $40 million to hand off to a what $15 million back or something. He said, "Wow, wow,
And it's
And
wow,
even funnier when
neither
you
one.
wow."
did you see
Listen,
the payout
let
number?
me tell you how average your quarterback is. If your quarterback is a free agent, and the moment he signs his big free agent deal, he's already near the bottom half of the quarterbacks in salary. $40 million is a lot of cheese, right? But when he signed at the time, he was like 12th highest paid QB in the league. That shows you who you have at quarterback.
Yep.
Quarterbacks usually top the next guy, no matter who's the best. That person usually tops or at least gets. Dude, when he signed, he was like the 12th highest paid QB in the league. You know you don't have a guy if he's accept him and his agents are accepting that. Come on, son. I
I agree.
live. I'm a South Carolina. Born in South Carolina. Grew up in South Carolina, ACC country. I watched Daniel Jones and leading up to the draft, and let's not talk about Mitch Trubisky. That's another ACC guy who I was like, what are you guys talking about? Listen, I don't scout. I'm not sitting around watching film. I don't get paid to do this. I'm not an idiot. So all through the draft process, they're talking about Daniel Jones as a first rounder, and I'm like, what? What are you guys? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking. And we all know the quarterback draft, drafting quarterbacks is kind of a crapshoot. Listen, Tom Brady got drafted after a spot where I got drafted like 155, round 5. Tom Brady got drafted in round 6. So that shows you how crazy the whole quarterback thing is, right? You're telling me that that somehow they thought Daniel Jones was a top 5 draft pick, and watching that, and then let's dial it back to another ACC guy, Mitch Trubisky. There's a kid that played high school in Charlotte. I think his name Marquise, whatever his name is. He beat Mitch Trubisky out every single year. Mitch started 1 year, and somehow coming out, they thought he was the best quarterback in a draft that had Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. Are you kidding me? Was Lamar in that draft?
Yes. He was 30. They drafted backup in the first round and got him. The Ravens drafted backup to get him at pick 32. You know who else?
And
Yes.
the Bears traded value to move up one spot to take him. The Niners were like, we would have taken a ham sandwich because we aren't taking him, and no one's trading up to 2 to take Mitch.
Oh boy. I was at that,
Listen,
I was at that when I was at that draft. I was working the draft in 2019 in Nashville when Kyler Murray was the number 1 overall pick and Cleveland Farrell was the 5th over. When Daniel Jones, they said with the 6th overall pick, the New York Football Giants select Daniel Jones. Them people was like, what?
right?
Daniel Jones is deep.
I was happy. I was like,
Yeah, when you watch,
he ain't
listen,
that
when
guy.
you watch your rival fumble, you take out your marshmallows, you roast them, and you enjoy the fire.
You mentioned a name there, dude. I grew up a huge Clemson fan. I can't believe I didn't think Cleveland should have gotten drafted that high, but I'm surprised that he just wasn't good.
Yeah, he was an incredible those not just those Clemson teams, but those Clemson defense with
Those
him,
Clemson defensive line.
Dexter
It was
Lawrence.
him, Dexter, Kristen Wilkins.
Yeah, Christian Wilkins. What's
And they had a fourth defensive end drafted 5th round by the Lions. I think he's still in the league. What is his name?
Yeah, those are listen, Dabo Swinney is a coach that it's easy to dislike Dabo Swinney with the look funny stuff that he says. But when you talk about success, he's won so many ACC championships, he's lost count. He's won 2 national championships with Deshaun Watson, went to back-to-back national championship with Deshaun, and won. I mean, that was we don't want to talk about it, but when Alabama played Clemson in the Natty, that wasn't even a game. That wasn't even a game, people.
Oh my!
Hate to give all that love to the Clemson boys, but Trevor Lawrence. I don't know who he is now in Jacksonville. That's a different Trevor, but the Trevor in Clemson, unstoppable. This dude was unstoppable.
That dude was special. That dude was something else, man. Yeah. Austin Bryant. That was the 4th guy. Okay. Austin Bryant was the 4th guy, and he's been more productive than Cleveland. Hell, Miles Murphy isn't productive. I'm going down this Clemson thing. Like, even Miles Murphy, he was top 10 last year to Cincinnati. Like, where is he? Like, rough, I don't man. Like it's the league is it's hard. You know, Ben. It's really hard. Like, it's hard to. So we're in college and we're watching the game and you're like, oh, that guy sucks. He can't this and he can't that, right? And then the next year you're on the field with those guys and you go, this dude is the best football player I've ever seen, and he plays like 12 plays. It's like
it's not fair, but it's not fair, but it is fair because at the end of the day, when you start we live in a world where the Miami Hurricanes have been in the ACC for 20 years and they've never won it. They've been there for 20 years.
And they've never won. That is crazy. That is absolutely incredibly crazy to me. No one could say that to me right now, like just walking on the street. And I go, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You can't really say that and expect people to believe that. They have not won it in 20 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Never won it.
Dabo out there dominating, man.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey. But y'all Eagles are doing it, and guess what? Y'all ain't going nowhere. The Eagles, let me tell you something. Watching the draft, everybody saying this. I said, Jihad.
The Alabama and Georgia connection there in Philadelphia is crazy. Like,
dude, they've been taking Alabama, Georgia, and then they jumped on. They've been taking a Clemson guy every few years as well. They got They got a couple Clemson guys last year and this year. It's like crazy. They go Georgia, Alabama, and I was like, yo. They got a couple guys from my dogs too, you know. Of course, Trotter. I love that.
Yeah. You can't go wrong
on that. And then,
listen, man. Don't you love how cute? Right. How cute guys are sometimes, Ben. Where you go. All right. So you got a team that's dominating college football, dominating defensively. Win a national championship by 50 points. And I don't know, man. There's a guy that looked great at the combines. He ran well. He lifted well. He looks great. But I'm going to take him over these guys that have tape Why do they do that so often?
I'll
A guy that
I'll never
has tape
understand.
and production, big time conference especially, and then you go, man, this guy really looks good in his shorts, and he really ran well, and I'm like, if there's a decision between equal guys, then you take the guy with the better numbers, right? You see it so often where you go and this guy is like, you go, yeah, I played against him. He's okay. And then he goes and he's expected to run a 4.5 and he runs a 4.4. He jumps a 38 and 28 on the bench or whatever, and you go, I think he's a first rounder. Why? Look at his tape again. Why does that happen so often to people making millions to do this job? And I'm not saying I can do it better.
Well,
I'm really curious.
you probably could because here's the thing, right? Think about what you just said. Certain guys are just athletic. It's like going to the gym, right? There's a guy in the gym, he's ripped up, but he can't fight. He can't, and he hope to God he never has to fight.
Has to fight.
Somebody see he can't fight, they're gonna say, what do people say? It's like going to the YMCA and you 7 feet and you can't dunk. Now, do you? You know, it's not his fault.
You see it all the time. I play with guys who are like just athletic machines, and I'm like, he just can't play the sport. He's not really that good at the sport, and which is fine. But I'm not drafting him in the high rounds because, man, he looks the part. It happens so often. Guys jump up in the draft because of those numbers. And you know, there's sometimes circumstances where a guy is at a stack position, doesn't get a lot of reps, and then you finally see him and you go, yeah, I'm gonna need this guy, right? I get it. You get those guys, especially guys who play running back at freaking Bama. Like it's 7 guys. It's 7 guys. Yeah, I had 400 yards, but I had 2 Heisman winners in front of me. I can play. I get those situations, but you can't tell me that you're gonna pull a guy who looks good in shorts and you should solidify your spot with your workouts.
Well, go be a model. Go be a model. Go be in WWE. No, I'm serious. Like when I was in college, his name is Thaddeus Bullock. The world knows him as Titus O'Neil, the wrestler. I was in college. He's older than me. He looked like that back then. So when you get to college and you see this dude all oiled up with like some tidy white on the field, you're not gonna say anything to him. He looked like that's a young. But here's the thing: we put the pads on, and I'm like, something ain't just because we like that's him, right? Yeah, that's him. And here's the thing: I'm like, hey man, this dude right here look like they say, yeah. But it's like the guy in the weight room. Like when the team is lifting and he the guy that got paint on his face and all the chalk on him. He's the strongest dude on the team. But most dudes, people are like, hey, that dude over there strong. I say, yeah, because this is where he dominates. He gonna dominate. Wait, this dude, we gonna. But on the field, he's a D lineman that can't move a guard an inch. He can't move another man. So to me, that's almost like it's not like listen, a beautiful lady is gonna get attention for the right reasons because of her beauty. She's beautiful. A guy that's getting attention because of how he look, if he ain't walking down the runway, it ain't gonna help you in football because people are gonna be like, look, dude, how big is he?
They're gonna punish you.
And
they're going to punish you out. They're going to embarrass you out there. Listen, the coach, you wean your way right out of this thing. You can't hide on that football field.
No.
You cannot hide on that football field. You can't hide. Those are grown men out there, especially on that level and that plays on Sundays. They're grown men out there that wants a job, that wants a pretty freaking high-paying job. You can't hide. You cannot hide out there. There is no place to run and hide out there, and you'll get hurt.
Listen.
You'll get hurt out there.
Luther, I played against Brian Dawkins one time. Okay? Played against him one time. Listen, you know, Brian Dawkins about 5'11". I'm 6'5". Brian Dawkins was like 200. I was about 250, 255, right? You think my 255 mattered when Brian Dawkins saw me? No. Yeah. Brian Dawkins said, let me tell you something. Brian Dawkins walked up to me. He hit me in my chin, and he said, hallelujah. and walked
Bro,
and ran
did I not tell you that he is the nicest guy in the world, but he's a mass murderer when he steps between those lines? Have I not said that to you, Steven? Listen, I played against Dawkins in college, and I played with him in Philly. Dawkins will drive to the airport, pick up your family, babysit your kids, all this good stuff, right? The moment he walks between those white lines, that's a different man out there.
He is.
He
That's
is
how
a
you're
problem.
supposed to be though. In Luther, in a sense,
That's how you're supposed to be.
like in a sense, right? Some of us they used to say, football players, y'all can't turn it off. They can't turn. No, he can turn it off. Like he can say, hey man,
Dude.
listen. He can kiss his wife and say, all right, sweetie, I'm about to listen. Soft spoken. I'm about to go. But then he takes his voice and he turns it way down.
Way down.
At monotone. And then
Dude,
you can't see his eyes. He got the
you
dark.
can't. He's got the dark visors on. He doesn't, and he doesn't start it. Like he talks to himself a lot too, right? He's not starting with you, but boy, don't you start. Don't start with him.
I didn't get hit like Algie Crumpler got hit, but I got hit. And listen, if a grown man is walking on the field and all you hear him saying is the time has come. The time has come. You're like, what time? And mind you, if you've never seen it, because when I get the feeling, I had never seen his pregame. So he got the football, he take it, he throw it on the ground, he talking to it, and no one's around him. No, it's a camera on him, ain't nobody saying nothing to him.
No one.
And I hear holler at your boy, the time has come, the time has come. And I said, is he talking to the football?
Yes.
Oh, he's talking to the football. And mind you, that go Lito Shepherd, that go Donovan McNabb, that go all these Eagles. And the other 52 guys over there, like 20 ain't even over there. They said that's his business.
Bro, let me tell you something. It was two dudes before our games who were nuts, right? Dawkins, and you've witnessed him. But the other dude, if the game started at 1, this dude started at 10:30. Hugh Douglas.
Oh, God.
Hugh Douglas will be talking to his shoes, and he's getting his uniform ready, and he is going nuts. He is sweating. He's talking trash to Andy Reid. Big Red coming there. He calls him Big Red, and and I'm like, how is he gonna play a whole football game? The game is in 2 hours. He was nuts. And you don't know me. I said, I'm like a silly dude. I'm in it. I'm joking around. I always had like a Game Boy playing Tetris, listening to music, like, getting, and you see those guys over there. People have different ways to get ready for a game. And watching Hugh and Dawkins gives me goosebumps. Goosebumps, man. I loved it. I loved it. Trotter was there too.
Y'all got an atmosphere, man. Y'all had listen, the vet is, it's a,
oh God.
I mean, our coaches made sure they said, listen, fellas, our coach Mike Munchak, he's from Pennsylvania. He said, listen, fellas, I know y'all think the football is born and bred down here in the Southeast, but let me tell you about Pennsylvania. I mean, this is where real football players come from. We don't care about looking cute. We care about a helmet. We care about the shoulder pads. We care about the cleats. And the guy in front of us, he's going to have a bad day. He's going to have a long day. I'm just telling you, he's going to have a long – and you get there and you say, dude, this is crazy. Because
it's different.
It's a different kind of feeling. And Philadelphia fans barely like each other. They
barely like each other. Listen, I got drafted into that. That's what I got drafted into, and that's all I knew for a while. And I'm like, yo, I like this. They're crazy, but I like this. And playing on that vet was nuts. You play on turf, and the turf the field is padded and all that. Our turf was about as thick as carpet, thick as cheap carpet in an apartment. And when you walk right off the turf going to the locker room, the concrete is right there, and you could see that it's this thick. Yo, I played special teams and 5 offensive plays a game, and it felt like a car wreck every weekend. The minimal amount of plays that you get out there, that thing was a mess, bro. I don't know how they function on
By the
how
time
they
I got there,
managed
it
to
was by
keep
the
that
time I
going for
got there, y'all
years.
had taken the carpet up. I got the
That
dirt with the
crappy
green
carpet.
paint. I got the dirt
Oh yes. Oh, with the green paint. Oh yeah,
with the
that
green
was I
paint.
heard about.
I
I
mean, to the
wasn't
point
there.
where
I heard about that.
my coach said, "Y'all ain't even gonna try to hide it. Hide what? Look at our coach. We don't care." They was like, it's almost like they told us. They said, "Listen, bro, we ain't here to welcome you. We're not humble hosts. We trying to get y'all up out of here ASAP. We trying to make you not even want to visit Philly anymore. Not even
Right.
play the Eagles. We're not
Don't come
hospitable.
visit. Don't come visit your family. Don't come get cheesesteaks. Nothing.
I got
We
family
don't
in
want you
Philly.
here.
I got family in Philly that said they said, "Cousin, we love you, right?" Yeah. They said, "But you picked the wrong team. we
I
don't
know
go.
they be.
We don't. We
We're not
They're
rooting for you.
over here. We. He said, "Listen, man, we not one of these." He said, "We appreciate the jersey and everything, G, but we can wear that in a family picture. We not wear
We
that to
gonna
the
wear that in the family. Matter of fact, we're not wearing that. We're gonna frame that and put that in the crib.
Yeah,
Right?
we don't even
But
want to be
we might put that in a room where people don't go into.
it's in the basement.
But it's going to be acknowledged that this is our cousin.
Yeah, yeah,
We
and they're gonna
we
make sure they say that. Hey man, who is
we're not Tennessee fans. It's gonna be your jersey up there, your name in the back, but on the inscription it's gonna say this is our cousin.
My cousin came to that
That's
game.
the only reason that's here.
My cousin almost lost his life in the vet with my jersey on, talking trash, thinking that the cop that came up to him was there to save him. The cop said, "No, dude." He said these words. "Who are you and where are you from?" Well, I know you're not from around here. What you mean? You're in a sea of green. Your cousin just scored. That's cool. But he's not gonna save you. We have a jail underneath here. Some of these people have been locked up so much, I know them by first name.
First
They've been
name.
locked up. So if they'll fight each other, they're gonna come together in masses to embarrass you. And my cousin said, "Man," and the cop told him, "Listen, before this game is over, you need to, with about 6-7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you need to start. Man,
Start.
he said, all right."
Start
He
making
said,
your
here's
way.
the thing, right? The time it takes us to get to you, you're gonna be a bloody mess. Don't listen. Don't let these 5'6", 5'7" Italian men fool you. They will whoop you up in here.
They're crazy,
ASAP.
man.
And
They are nuts, man.
And listen, and ain't no listen. This ain't religion, baby. They ain't convert nobody up in here. They do that to Giants fans, Dallas fans, and whether it's the Washington Redskins football team or Commanders, they like nobody not wearing green. You ain't got on green. So, hey man, and I respect that. I respect that so much, man, because these fair weather fans that you got now, Philly is not like Philly is honest. If Philly's good,
Philly
they
is
can
honest.
still be
If we lose 1,000, we lose 1,000 Super Bowls, we go into our graves with zero wins. We're okay with that. We hate it. We're okay with that. We're not jumping. We didn't turn into Patriots fans in the 2000s, right? We didn't sneak over to Dallas in late 90s, right? We're not just we going that's our guy. Listen, my son is 11 and he just doesn't understand how spoiled he is, right? I grew up wanting to play football for Danny Ford at Clemson and basketball for Dean Smith at Chapel Hill. I thought that was possible when I was like 7. 7-year-olds are stupid. Bro, in 2016, I think, Chapel Hill lost the Final Four, lost the championship when Chris Jenkins, of course, Villanova, made a shot on the buzzer. Clemson lost to Bama in the championship. The next year, Clemson won the title, Chapel Hill won the title, and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And my son was like 6 or 7. Yo, he thought like that's what life is, bro. I had to let him down. I said, Cam, this ain't gonna happen every year. Yo, the next year when LSU beat the brakes off of Clemson, I'm downstairs in the basement. I'm a late night dude, right? Cam's got school the next day. I go upstairs and I think like there's is a trapped raccoon in my house. He is still in the bed crying at like 2 o'clock because Clemson got thrashed. And then the next year, Philly wasn't that good. This boy every weekend he is crying because we had lost. What we lose like 7, 8 games that year. He is miserable. And I'm like, dude, you just don't understand. I lived my whole life waiting for the Eagles to win a Super Bowl. Clemson has been 8-4, 7-5 for 28 straight years. You got it made. You gotta chill, bro. So, but we not gonna be bandwagon jumpers. We I played for Philly and Carolina, both teams twice. I'm from South Carolina. We root for the Panthers. We go to games, but we Philly diehards. We not jumping bandwagons, man. Now I came close, to quitting Philly when Chip Kelly was there. I hated him. I wasn't gonna find another team. I was just gonna quit Philly until we got a new. Oh, I hated him, but I'm not just like you
I gotta
said.
ask
You
you, since
can't
you're
be
bringing up Chip
bandwagon.
Luther, what do you think about him making his return and being a part of the Las Vegas Raiders staff?
I don't. It sucks for me because the team I loved growing up before I got drafted by the Eagles was the Raiders.
So
I
it's
don't need
torture.
him. It's not
So
torture. It's not torture. I just wish he would have gone to like Dallas and ruined Dallas. But I'm not a fan. I mean,
yeah, I'm not a fan either. I don't. Everyone's like, "Oh, but he did well." I don't care what he did in college. He
I
destroyed my team. He
he
picked
just
it apart.
he was so.
They've learned. I mean, I think Philly has learned. Philly front office has learned from Dan, man, the ownership to say, look, man, we can't do these hot shot. He came from Oregon. Like, really? Oregon? Oregon has 37 different uniform combinations. They won't repeat a jersey top and bottom twice. They're the only team in NCAA history to go to the national championship and don't even wear their colors with Marcus Mariota. They was out there looking like some Power Rangers. I don't know what they was wearing.
Right, I was like, why
No
aren't you
one,
wearing your
no one does that.
dude?
No one
Go to the
says,
Natty and wear a classic. If we get to the Natty, let's wear a classic. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's like,
Let's
yeah,
look like Oregon.
Chip Kelly. Listen, and Chip Kelly went from Philly. He was at UCLA. They out there doing warm. He making them do warm up drills like right before the game. They doing like I said. Look, certain guys, and I mean this. Certain guys are even meant to be coordinators. You don't get to be head coaches is prestigious. That's prestigious type places, man. You don't because what happens
Certain
is
guys, and they're really good at coordinating, and that's not a problem. Certain guys should be coordinators, and that's that. You know, I mean, I guess you shoot your shot, but you can figure out who you are.
oh yeah, they listen. They know who they are, and at the same time, I mean, people say, I mean, when that happened, I said Chip Kelly's the head coach of Philly. The Eagles, yeah. How did that? Yeah, like man, somebody must have lost a bet or something. Chip Kelly doesn't know how to deal with Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy. He can't deal with alpha. So I'm an alpha.
He couldn't deal with men.
Yeah.
He tried to treat them like they're like boys. Like, yo, these dudes are like 30 with kids, wife and kids, and taking care of multiple family members. Like, dude, you can't talk to me like that.
And you're the
There's
rook.
there's a level of respect. I am going to respect my head coach.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes.
There's a level of respect there, but you can't talk to me like that, bro. Like,
yeah,
we gotta take a step back.
Just man to man. It's like, and that's the thing too, Steven, that I had to learn when you get to the league. We fully grown men now. Like we respect our head
coaches don't even want you to call them coach half the time. Did you? I call everybody coach this. Coach was like, call me Bobby. Like, what? Like, it's different in the NFL. You grown men.
Yeah, fully. Listen, and the thing is, you know who tell you that you got that right? Another vet that say, hey, dude, you don't gotta let him talk to you like that. What you mean? But
bro,
they don't listen. I learned it
because I would be like, all right, and dude would be like, man, how you let old boy talk to you? Gruden, man, Gruden was an asshole. And dude was like, "Hey man, you a grown man." And I'm thinking, wait, am I supposed to say something back? Like, dude, he can't talk to you like that.
I mean,
And
I'm
I was
telling you, I
like,
saw
oh,
it.
that's how it is, huh?
I had to wait on a veteran. I said, well, listen, how about you show me what I can and can't say? Because I don't want to, because I don't know what I can and can't say. And
Bro,
plus,
I don't
I
know.
don't want to
And
come
plus
off.
I'm not that dude, right? I'm
Yeah,
not I'm I'm a
yeah.
little
One of my best friends, one of my best friends in high school, Isaac West, he went to Furman, out of high school. He went to
oh
Furman.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. That's my homie. We played together 4 years.
I got the same birthday.
Man,
Ike
Isaac
signed with
West.
Philly.
Yeah, Ike was that dude, man.
Ike was nice, bro.
He was, man. He was, and Florida Gator head coach Billy Napier, Furman legend.
Billy went to Furman right after I left.
But and
He
that's what
came in like 98.
my so I signed in 2000 to go to the University of Florida, and then my homie Ike went to Furman. My nephew just signed to go to Kennesaw State, and his homie on his team was going to Furman. Little
Oh
cornerback
wow.
Caleb.
F
But
you, baby.
I just will say, when it comes to the National Football League, Steven, this is why if you would have made it to the league, you would have made it. You know why? Because you got to be brash. You got to say, hey, dude, at a certain point, yes, sir, and no, sir, is a sign of respect. But some of these coaches be thinking, hey, man, because of my position, and I'm telling you, I saw Steve McNair tell Norm Child. Norm Child was the offensive coordinator for USC when they was winning all them championships. When it was Reggie Bush and Lindell White.
Oh,
He comes to Tennessee, and he knew to this. So he's giving the plays, and Steve McNair, he's trying to get his chin strap and stuff done, and he yells at Steve, and Steve kind of give him a look, and he yells again, and Steve tells him, "Dude, who you think you talking to?" And then, mind you, Norm was like, Norm wanted to say, "I'm talking to you," but that didn't come out. That didn't come out. And Norm looked at Jeff Fisher, the head coach. Jeff Fisher looked at Norm
Jeff
and said,
was like,
"Jeff said, welcome to the big league." That's a league MVP right there. That's the third overall pick out of Alcorn State. So Norm had to realize. So then he says, "Steve, let me know when you're ready." There you go. I'll let you know when I'm ready. I'm just trying to get ready, Norm. I do this for real. And I think that's the thing about some of these coaches. Listen, Nick Sirianni, he understands this. I might not like everything about you, but I respect you. I'm not finna, because guess what? I said this before. I said, listen, coaches call plays, players make plays. He call it, I make it, and it will not switch. I said, you know how hard it is to coach the best players in the world? It's not. It's not hard to coach the best players in the world. It's hard to deal with their personalities. They're the best players in the world, and you got to pick. I said, listen, man, don't. I said, and so I think that once again, Philly again went from saying Sirianni told Jalen Hurts, I mean, we don't need to be making headlines about stuff that they got to do with football, because if we don't win, they're going to think it's because of a culture or a locker room. So we're going to keep that out the news. We just got Saquon, Jalen Hurts, Time Magazine, top 100 people, keep your lady away from him. I'm going to keep saying, if your lady say, I want to see the Eagles, she don't even know about football. She want to see Jalen. And I'm just telling you, and I'm honest about things. When my lady says, "Hey man," she says, "Who's the quarterback for the Eagles?" I said, who? Kenny Pickett? Oh yeah,
Kenny Pickett, exactly. Shit.
Now we're talking about respect and things of that nature. I wanted to go over something over the draft this weekend. Like, obviously, we're not going to get into the Sanders thing just yet, but the Falcons coach kind of let some sensitive information leak. We all seen his kid had prank call Shador, but
wait, before we go, I'm gonna cut you. Give me 2 seconds.
$250K. Go ahead.
Give me 2 seconds. Let's stop calling that man a kid.
Yes,
because that's what the headlines keep calling him a kid, and I thought he was 14. This is a 21-year-old man. And they're softening that shit, calling him a kid. He is not a kid. All right, go ahead. That's all I got to say about it.
Hey, listen, I don't mind it, Luther. You call what you see, and that's exactly what we do. We call what
Come
we see.
on, man. Let's not call this dude a kid. He is a grown man pulling this prank. He's not a kid.
Yes. I
Come
guess
on,
And
so.
then
man.
let's also not mention the fact that the Tyler Warren also got pranked. So my thing is,
Dude,
these are supposed to
it
be
was like
NFL
3 or 4
numbers.
guys.
That's
It
what I'm
was
saying.
another guy,
These
an
are supposed to be
Alabama
NFL
kid as
championship
well.
numbers. How is this stuff getting out there for them to be pranked in the first place?
Because
Well, because a dad
yep,
thought his 21-year-old son wouldn't go into his private phone and do some stuff like that. That's why.
yeah.
He thought his grown-up ass 21-year-old son wouldn't do that. Now, now was it irresponsible? Yes. And he's paying for it. $100,000 personally. But would I have expected my 21-year-old son to do something like that? Absolutely not.
There, yeah, there it is.
Absolutely not.
Yes, it's there. It's number one. Let's call this what. Let's take it a step further. If we are position coaches in the NFL, we got access to all these players, phone numbers,
Everything. Everything. It's in our devices.
Yeah, if I'm a 21-year-old, that's cool as hell that my daddy got. Dad, I didn't even know this kind of stuff came with it. And I expect my son to know you can see this, but you can't see this, right? All right.
Right.
And
because you might say, hey son, grab the phone and I don't know, text your mom or give me Ben's number out there. Grab my phone. You don't expect your 21-year-old to go in your phone and get prospective draft picks numbers and use it as a prank to get what? To get likes on social media?
I'm just
What are we doing?
What
What are we doing?
Like, oh, it's just a prank. What's the big deal? I'm like, what do you mean?
It's a huge deal, dude. Dude, it's so crazy listen, when I was getting drafted, bro, I knew I was a late round pick, but the draft it was Saturday and Sunday. it was just 2 days. So I expected I'm not getting called the first day, right? And I got a call at the end of the day from a coach from Washington, the tight ends coach from Washington, and he was trying to get them to have some interest in me like early 4th round. I almost didn't answer the phone and then I wasn't sure it was him. Dude, because you don't know who's fooling around. Your friends, because I have friends who would call me and joke around, like not the draft day, like the weeks coming up, saying there was somebody, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, dude, quit playing around, right? They would star 6, 7 their number or whatever to block it.
Back in the day,
Dude, that stuff that's not funny, man. Dude, because I sat there, I got drafted in the 5th round. I'm sitting around on Sunday and I don't know where I'm going, bro. I've got friends who are already drafted, and I know I'm a late 2nd day guy at that point, and I could go anywhere from it's Sunday. You can go 4th to 7th to undrafted. Yo, when Ray Rhodes finally called me, bro, I didn't have any emotions left. He probably was like, this dude ain't even excited because I was worn out. If someone had called me and done that to me, I probably would have found them and whooped that ass. They would have had to whoop my ass.
Yeah, people.
I would have put hands on somebody for something like that. They would have had to whoop my ass.
Is a really, really good man, right? The fact that Shador is 2 years older than the dude that called him. Shador's 23, and the guy who called me 21. So a grown man.
It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool.
It was one of those things. Here's the thing, right? They went through a lot to try to protect this youngin. They was like, we don't know if it was him. He filmed it.
He filmed it.
Looking right at him.
He filmed it.
And then
he filmed it and posted it.
And I go, I go, so let me get this straight. You wanted to be a part of the draft that bad that you willing to hey, I'm gonna call Shador Sanders. I'm gonna prank him. You know what it is? I don't even blame the youngin. I blame his friends. There's nobody in your camp to go, bro, we ain't doing that.
I'm sure not letting my boy. Hey, I don't want to be a part of this, dude. I'm out of here. Y'all go ahead on, dude. You're gonna get in trouble, dude. You're gonna get your dad in trouble. You're gonna get your dad fired. The league is not for long. Yo, I'm telling him to stop, quit, stop this. You can go do it if you want to, but I've warned you 17 times to stop. All right. He's
not
not
a
a
prank.
kid, man.
That's not. Listen, I prank people. Pranks look like pranks, sound like prank. We know what a prank is. A prank is a high, calm down. This right here, I go, dude. Oh.
Yes, I'm put hot sauce in your cake.
Your daddy gonna be stamped for life, dude. Like they gonna, cause you his son. Like it's almost like when it finally came out and they said, dude, it was my kid. Like, because no one had Shedeur Sanders numbers but GMs and coaches.
Right, because those guys had private. You know, you get a private number for.
Yeah,
people gonna be blowing you up. You don't want people call. You don't want to miss calls. So exactly. I'm sure they all had like a new number just for the draft, man.
I used the pastor of my church when I used the pastor of my church when I got drafted, and one of my cousins still called me. And to this day, I said, boy, on everything I love, when I see you. No. When I see you, and, you know, it's gonna be Bernie Mac. It's gonna be furniture moving. I'm gonna love you. I ain't gonna beat the hell out you, but because you know, your family. Certain people just ain't got no filter. Everybody got a family member that when they show up to the family reunion, like how the hell you find out.
Right. It's somebody like that who's going. It's one of your family members who's going to do something that you would punch anybody for. That you let it go because it's like, dude, why are you always doing stuff like this?
Oh yeah, that's a special. There's a special.
Dude, why do you make my grandma curse? You're the one that makes my grandma curse.
Yeah, everybody has that.
Everybody got that cousin.
Yeah, Luther, we call them the really cousin. We were like, really? Because that's what we call them. They're the really? Like again, because it's almost like you tell them what they're doing and they still don't get. Like, dude, do you not understand what I'm telling you?
They don't understand, and I'm like, dude, what do you mean? What do you mean, man? You such a square. I'm not a square, dude. You're crazy.
Hey man,
you're nuts, bro.
Why you got to be the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator?
I already knew that's where you were gonna go. I had to be a Falcon, right?
Bro, that's so funny. Saying, man. My little cousin is an Atlanta fan.
Born and raised a Falcons fan, man. Luther, you don't know this, but in my will, you know, I got married and me and my wife had to do a will, and she says, "Why you got the Falcons as your pallbearers so they can let me down one last time." Let me on that. Because they're going to do it. They're going to do it. No, I'm just saying. They're going to do it. It's 6 of them. Well, I said I put in for 8, but they're going to send me 6. They're going to drop me. They're going to drop me. Because they 5 of them. Oh, shoot. Because they're going to say, dude, I thought you was
Oh, my God. That's so good.
And we're going to have my funeral at like 3:28. You know, just switch it. It was
no, please don't do. Listen, I can't even listen. I've been having a really good decade of sport. Like 5 years. Listen, I'm a Braves fan. Braves done damn won one in the past 5 years. The Eagles done won 2. Clemson winning natty. Furman done won an NCAA tournament game for the first time since the 70s.
Luther's
the Hornets. The Hornets. You know, again, like you said, I'm not jumping off the bandwagon, but man, the Hornets got me miserable, bro.
Well, I mean, I'm a Hawks fan, so it's like, you know.
But y'all be beating us, man.
But the Hawks will lose 138-96 with no overtime. You know, we can lose like that. Regular. I'm just saying, because somebody gonna say, "Hey man, what you know about I said, "What you know about Trae Young? That boy ice cold, right? And you're on the defense, man. We better not need to stop because what happens in Atlanta is this. People say, "Man, why you talk trash? You a." I said, "Yeah, I'm a Falcons fan, and I'm Atlanta United fan." I say, "But I'm also a Braves fan, so that's the only reason why I really be talking trash. It ain't because of the Hawks. It's because of the Braves." Now,
listen, I know we done started 0-7, but we 14-8 after.
They know we listen. When people say, "Hey man, you watching the Mets?" I say, "Who?" The Mets are gonna Mets.
Dude,
come on,
the Mets let their fans down all the time. You know what's gonna be glorious, bro? And the Mets end up in second place in the division this year again. It's gonna be so glorious. If we come back from this 0-7 start to actually finish ahead of the Mets, that's gonna be.
But you know, listen, but you know what's gonna happen because that's how. Listen, and we live in a world And I respect Bryce Harper. You know I respect him, Steven. You know I do.
Listen, we didn't do anything this offseason.
I
have no
live
problems
in a
with
world.
Luther
I
saying
live in
we're
a
gonna
world
do
where Bryce
birthdays.
Harper.
Listen, he's the only
What?
bright spot, and he ain't even playing the way he normally plays right now.
Listen, Bryce Harper said out of his mouth that he said they was asking about this Braves player. You might have heard of Ronald Acuna. He said Ronald Acuna sucks. I said, did you say that out loud, Bryce? Did you say that? I can't say nothing about the hair. The hair is immaculate. I can't say nothing. I said, but here's the thing, Bryce. As soon as you left Washington, what they did, they won it all. As soon as you left,
they won a championship.
And you went to Philly, right? You went to Philly. I get it. You can, I said, look, you are him now. Bryce Harper is baseball royalty. I said, but if you gonna look up, I said, but you gonna look up and you gonna be Mike Trout. You watch. You're gonna be the face, and you ain't gonna win.
He don't walk them. He walked those Acuna comments back. He shouted Acuna out.
He said it right. Somebody told him.
But that I was like, ooh, Bryce.
I said, Bryce, listen, you could have picked anybody. You know what it was? It's hard because a lot of the Braves players are actually good, man. Like I said, listen, Freddie Freeman. I'm never ever gonna live that down. I'm never gonna live that down.
Oh my gosh!
Never in my life. And he went to the Dodgers.
Dodgers, man.
The Dodgers are the evil empire of the National
West. Yes.
Anyway, I'm off. I'm sorry, Steven. When it comes to these Braves,
hey, listen, ain't nothing wrong. I'm gonna let you have your guys' Braves talk. It's a rarity. We kind of get to throw that all into everything.
No. Listen, I will say, listen. I'm not saying that we got the best division of baseball. The NL East, man, it can get ugly. We like to listen. We like the NFC East. We don't like each other. We don't like each other at all. Washington, who? What? Philly, but the
Mutts.
The Mets are the Jets of baseball. They are the Jets. They are. That's what they are. We said, I said, listen, Mike Piazza won't even do interviews. Don't interview me about that. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I remember when all the pitchers look like superheroes. They look like Thor and the Dark Knight. How did that end up with Kansas City Royals? Oh, I thought that pitching beat back. I thought the pitching.
Not for the Mets.
I'm just saying, because I know a Mets fan be probably stalking me, trolling me. You're gonna look at this and say, "Ben, you're a hater." Hating on what?
Hating on what? The fighting Bernie Madoffs? Like, dude, they couldn't even pay their.
Listen,
they're so bad. They let Bernie Madoff swindle in.
I used to live in Jersey and I worked in New York, and I used to walk up to people and say, "So you got on a Mets jacket? Yeah, you got on a Mets jacket in public? Yeah, wow, you are bold." He's like, "I'm rooting for the Mets."
Hey, now I'm gonna stand with you if you stand with your team. I'm still clowning your Mets ass. Y'all better.
Oh yeah. There are certain fan bases that's always I'm always gonna talk trash to because like Dallas. I'm always gonna talk trash to them because one time I was late for something and I needed an excuse. I'm like, God, I need an excuse. I called my Dallas Cowboy friend. Hey, bro, I need an excuse, man. I'm about to be late. He said, "Why are you calling me? Because you a Cowboy. Y'all are the excuse fan base." Which is always everybody but the Cowboys.
It's always an excuse, bro.
Y'all really think Tony Romo? My friend said, "You think Tony Romo gonna be a Hall of Famer?" Boy, did you call me for real? Tony Romo,
dude, their fan base is so delusional. While we're nuts, they're delusional. They're so delusional, bro.
Bad.
Like, dude, you guys have not done anything since the 90s, bro. Bro, I was in high school in the 90s, bro.
Say it.
Y'all hadn't done anything since the 90s, son.
We're talking about delusional, right? Did you see what Tyler Booker said after the break?
I don't know if he said that. Because they put that out right after he got drafted. And I don't see anything where it quoted him, but I saw that. I don't know. I don't know if he got to. I don't know if he actually said that though. But be careful what you ask for.
There are people in this. Why would you? I saw Tyrann Mathieu talking trash on the sideline, mind you. No, he was on
To
the field.
Tom
And
Brady.
Jalen was on the sideline. And I'm like,
Oh,
Tyron, your nickname is Honey Badger. You're not a Honey Badger for real. That's a bear
you're not.
over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, you're
You gotta
not.
deal with. And mind you, it's one of those things to where I go, let me get this straight. Tyrann Mathieu is trying to get into it with Jalen Carter. Yeah, that sounds like something, because you know what? I would have been like, let him. All Jalen was saying was, let me go. I'm right here. I live in Atlanta.
Go.
I live in Atlanta. And back in my younger days, I used to go out and people say things like, hey man, T.I. looking for this dude. T.I. the rapper? Yeah, looking for this dude. Can he see me? No, I don't need to stand on the chair. He needs to stand on the chair so I can see him. Like, there are certain things, and I love T.I., but I think certain things, certain environments make people think they something that they're not. Like, it goes back to what we said about the guy that got the APAC, you know what I'm saying, at LA Fitness. He can't fight. He don't want no trouble. Because if trouble comes and he gets whooped, it's like getting beat up in front of your girlfriend. That relationship ain't gonna make it. If you get whooped in front of, please let it be your girlfriend and not your wife. Because if you get beat up in front of your wife trying to defend her honor, ain't no more arguments. She gonna be like, who you get loud? You gonna get loud? You get loud with him?
Who you talking to? Who you talking to?
Listen. And every time she talk about it, it'd be like this. Hold on, girl. He can hear me. What? Are you telling him what happened? I'm telling him the truth. Oh my God. Did you tell him that I slipped? No, you didn't slip. And the only reason why that got stopped is because I got on top of you. I like, leave him alone. And people thought you got jumped. One dude did that to you. I'm just saying, we need to make sure football makes us think we are something that we are not. We are football players. We are physically imposing human beings. We are ferocious when you're watching us. That don't mean we got hands, people. That does not mean.
Listen,
and
man.
Sometimes how we look keeps us from being embarrassed. Sometimes
I stay out of the fray, Ben. I'm not having no 202-pound dude with the black belt whoop up on me because I'm running my mouth. Bro, I'm gonna protect my family, right?
Absolutely.
I'm not starting shit. I ain't starting anything. Bro, I want to go home. I want to chill with my kid. I want to be foolish. I want to drink bourbon. I want to go into bed every night with my wife, right? I'm not trying to get in it. People, you've been out there, Ben. People are looking for trouble.
And I'm not doing.
People are looking to test that strap, bro.
This is what you do. I learned this. I'm a country boy. I'm from Swainsboro, Georgia, by way of Augusta, Georgia.
I'm country as
yeah. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
Wait, you from Augusta area?
Yeah, I went to high school in Augusta. Georgia.
I'm from Charleston, bro.
Yeah, listen, me and my wife went on our anniversary to Charleston. It was incredible. I'm talking about,
I was born in Charleston. My bad. I grew up in Berkeley County in the sticks.
Okay.
So you know Ryan Stewart?
I do.
Ryan and Charlemagne, that's their cousin.
Charlemagne the guy, yeah.
They from Moncks Corner, South Carolina. That's also in Berkeley County. Bro, we from the sticks, bro.
Let me say this. Let me say this to all my let me say this because we using words that people think, what does country mean? If you are from South Carolina, North Florida, if you're from the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Texas, back over up the, you are country. I don't care. I live in a city. What does that mean, Vince Young? That don't mean
country.
Anything. I can't. Let me tell you something. When you
we got chicken in the backyard.
Listen, when you use words like finna, you are
finna. Yes. I'm finna go see mom and them.
Yes, you are. Because when
we know exactly what that means.
I mean, listen,
I am about to go visit my mother and the rest of my family. That's what that means. Listen, we finna see mom and them.
When you look at an animal like a squirrel or a possum, and you say things like that's some good eating,
that's some good eating.
You are country. You eat food that most people go, wait a minute, you eat that, boy?
You eat that? Listen,
do it got 4 legs, it will be done.
I'm a picky eater, but I'm not going to, dude, my entire family eat all types of stuff, dude. Yo, I went to my grandma's house, right? And you know everybody know what chitlin is. I'm in there and grandmommy is in the sink for hours, and I'm like, grandmommy, it smells in here. What is that? And my grandma starts smiling and starts laughing. I said, grandmommy, why are you laughing? I said, please tell me that ain't something you fed me. She said, son, she called me Newt for whatever reason. She said, Newt, your grandfather wants some chitlins. I said, Grandma, what is chitlin? I'm a kid. I want to say, Grandmommy, that smell like shitlin. But I ain't gonna say that. I said, Grandmommy, what's chitlin? So I go in the kitchen, fellas, and y'all have seen the pictures. It is the ass. I said, Grandma,
And that
that
little red
looks like
bucket.
it.
Yeah.
I said that looks like his butt. Yo, and my grandma wasn't like jokey and stuff. Yo, she burst out laughing like for a minute. And she said, son, that's what it is. Dude, and I'm a kid. She sat me down. She said, look, you guys are pretty free now. Y'all can do what y'all want to do. She said, shoot, you can go out there right now and you can date white girls. She said, when I grew up, we grew up at a different time. And they gave us the slops and we had to make do with what it is. She said, why you think people eat pig's feet? She said, why you think we got people eat chitlin and this is a thing? She said, we had to make do with what we had. And she said, she said, well, I said, but grandmommy, why that? She said, son, that's the pig's intestines. She said, you got to clean it and clean it and clean it and clean it some more. And I said, grandmommy, I will never eat that.
Ain't lying. I said, yeah. I mean,
I don't care. I will never eat that. I smell that thing. I smell it in here.
Right
You're
up
in
my
here
house.
cooking that. I said, nah. But my uncle would come home with the raccoon and he's out there like gutting it like it's a pig. Like it's a cow. Like dude, they didn't care. My uncle would come home with the turtle. And I'm like, Albert, what is that? We country, bro.
Oh yeah.
We country as hell.
If you've ever
I ain't
seen that
even.
grill.
I'm not ducking it. That's where I'm from.
Oh yeah,
Like
you
when
just
people
it's
ask me where I'm
6 years
from,
old.
I'll say Charleston because that's where I was born, and that's what people would know. I don't have to explain. If I'm not home, I'll Charleston area. I'm from Berkeley County, Hugie. I'm country as hell, and I love it. And I want to live in the country again. I want to be off the beaten path. There's some grass out there. We out there playing football. You ride your bike up, man. What? I'm country.
You sound like my wife is she's a military brat. She wants to live in the country, Steve. She wants to live in the country, Luther. But here's the thing. I said, listen to me. I don't think she understands what that means though. She like, cause she has this. She been watching too many Netflix, and I said, this is utopian type world. You think you finna be in? No.
Oh no, that ain't it.
No.
You
Country,
you you got you
country
got
is
some
when,
land off the beaten path. We
yeah.
country. Yeah,
Country is
that's
when
different.
country is when you can yell as loud as you can, and can't nobody hear you. Like ain't nobody hearing you.
And
You call the
if
police
you
and
need
they
some
say
eggs, you
yes.
gotta drive 10 miles, 10 plus miles for some eggs and milk, like or more. Like
As
damn,
my
we
as
out
my
of
as
eggs.
my
Like
grandma would say, the country is what kind of animal is that? Cause like man, what is that? I don't know what. Let's run. I don't know. I don't know if it's a snake. I don't know if it's a. But it's the best place to be, man. Cause I'm telling
dude, it's
you,
the best. Dude,
it's the great. Steve is looking at
it's
me like
the
I'm living.
greatest.
Steve said, I'm gonna be in Philly. I'm not. I'm gonna be so. Listen. Where I'm from, if somebody says, "Hey man, what you eat?" That's a Philly cheesesteak. That ain't no Philly cheesesteak. That I don't know what the hell that is.
I
That's
don't know
meat.
what that is.
Yeah, that's not.
That's a steak sandwich. That ain't no
Yeah,
Philly
that's not.
cheesesteak.
That's not a Philly cheese.
And that's fine. That steak sandwich actually tastes good. But don't call it a damn cheesesteak. Don't
Yeah.
call it that. That's what that when I first got to Philly and I came back and I went to a restaurant, I was like, man, I'm getting me a cheese. I was disgusted. And I didn't know any better. And I was like, oh, no, people don't know what a cheese. That's not a cheesesteak, bro. That's like literally big ass piece of steak. Like that's a steak sandwich. Like, oh, call it that. Matter of fact, I think that's roast beef. Like Don't call it a cheesesteak. That's the worst. We,
Yeah. I
we we
mean,
had some people move from Philly and they opened a shop and it didn't last long. I think because of location, man, they had the best sandwiches and they would have the bread flown down. That's another big thing when people try to make cheesesteaks down here and they'll use a bun. Like that's not gonna work. It's just gonna soak through. Like you've gotta it's a different beast.
it is.
Yeah.
There's very simple nuances. The difference, as Luther's talking, between a steak sandwich and a Philly cheesesteak. It's a different meat. It's a different cheese, and you can't use no Kaiser roll. No, like you need a long
Right.
Amoroso hoagie roll.
Right. And I make the best of it. Like if I whenever I like grilling, right, do a good have a good steak. I make sure I make too much because I'll make my own cheesesteak. I know it's not, but I'm gonna make it the best I can with some leftover ribeye. What? Now I'll try that the way I'm not gonna have the bread or whatnot. Now I'll make it the best I can because I can't go anywhere else and get it. Now my little steak sandwich that I make, they're excellent. I'm not calling it a cheesesteak. I refuse to call it a cheesesteak.
Oh yeah. But you've also had the best. Like, it's funny, right? People look at you and think they know where you've been. They know all your experience. They don't know you know what authentic is. Because when I
Right,
lived
authentic.
when I lived in New Jersey and I used to work in New York and we used to go to these, southern, down home cooking places. And I told this lady, I said, let me tell you something. They had this fried chicken or whatever. I said, this ain't no fried chicken. I took the skin, I just pulled it up. I said, you see that? I said, this ain't even stuck. I said fried chicken. I said, she says, what's the definition of fried chicken? I said, fried chicken, the last bite has the same crunch as the first bite.
The
That's
first
fried
bite.
chicken. It's still crunch.
Oh.
She's talking about what if you put gravy on it? That's just it still crunches.
It's
What the gravy got to do with the
what?
crunch?
What does gravy got to do with it,
And
bro?
like I said, when I lived in New York, I used to tell people, I said, look, man,
This ain't no soul
y'all
food
lying to
restaurant.
people. Y'all lying to
Listen,
people.
Ben, you sound like me. I was in Philly and guys would rave about the soul food place, right? And we went there, and I'm like, yo, we used to tease my sister about her cooking, and her food is better than this. This ain't soul food. It's fine for y'all who've never been to ate from Inez Broughton, right? That's fine. This ain't soul food. But it's amazing when you have like some soul food restaurants like up there that's like popping. People love it because
Oh yeah,
it's
it's
different.
good. It's good.
And I'm like that's fine, but
oh yeah. I
this
said,
ain't
look,
it.
I'm not here to knock nobody. I said, listen, I'm not saying that stuff ain't good. I say, but you got to go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles to really see. Oh, this is like this is really this. And when you've had it though, like the way we grew up, and we were spoiled, not realizing these people can cook. And your grandma,
We didn't realize it. We didn't realize it. Like even me, even because I cooked the way I learned. And people like when I'd leave or I'd go someplace or we cook or whatever, they're like, dude, you can cook. And I'm like, oh God, I hate my food. I want my mom's food. But they're like, man, that's good. What did you do? And I was like, yeah, I call my mom Nezzy. I said, man, I called Nezzy and I talked her through this whole macaroni and cheese. It's just like,
oh
I'm
yeah,
like, dude,
you want to
macaroni and cheese ain't no craft now. Don't throw no
Oh yeah,
craft in here and try to
That's
bake it and
right.
call it
Yeah,
that. That's
Thanksgiving,
not what it is. You gotta have so much butter and cheese that you get heart disease at the first bite.
your doctor like, what the hell did you eat? I just had
What
Thanksgiving.
did you eat? I had Thanksgiving too. Like what do you mean? Like my
Matter of
mom
fact,
puts
you be like, you want me to bring you a plate? Like, let me see. That's your plate
he's
right there.
like,
Yeah, yeah. Bring me one of those,
yes.
man.
He's like, good God, I want to be sick. I'm okay with this.
That's another staple too, right? People go, man, how you know it's a dude from the South? I said, man, we'll bring up God, and then we can look at somebody and go, Lord, Jesus, my God. That's just how we talk. Like we're like, my
Dude,
goodness.
and you just know. You go, oh yeah, because I'll be someplace else and I'll ask a person like, where you from, and they'll just start smiling. They're like, I'm like, you gotta be from the low country. You from South Carolina, ain't you? Yep. "Oh, you from Charleston? Or you from Georgia?" I'm like, "I'll be up in Philly, Jersey, or whatever." They're like, I could tell, I could almost hear it in you, but I've lost a lot of my, especially Charleston accent. But you
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially especially
Certain.
when you get to talking and you get comfortable and the finna start come out and the mom and them and all that stuff. Like you go, all right, all right.
Oh
So
yeah, you got.
you
Oh yeah, you
you
don't.
understand what I'm saying. You understand my vernacular.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You knew
And the greatest thing,
exactly what I said.
and the greatest
Yeah.
thing about it, when you from the South, this is the greatest indicator. People, when people finally know who you are, if they really know, like they know your family, they'll say, "Oh, I know your mom. You so and so son. You so that's a Southern. Are you so and so son,
Oh,
right?"
you so and so, sir. And then and they start to naming all these people. I'm like, those are my mama's like friends. I don't know them. It's like, dude, even my mom does it now. She calls me by my middle name, my dad's name. So she's like, Rashard, you don't know Kevin, that's Sally Mae's son from, and I'm like, Nancy, she went to high school with you. Like, I don't know them like
I
that.
don't know people that went to high school with you, man.
She's
Like, how
like,
would I
boy,
know that?
she's like, boy, you know her. She's like, and I'm like, mm-mm, I don't know them. But that's what they do. And that's how she explains people to me. She's like, boy, you know who that is. He asked for my number. She lives in Philly. That's Sally. That's Sally's nephew. And I'm like, oh my God, Nancy, I don't know them. He knows you. I'm like, yeah, like,
He
but I
knows
don't.
of me.
She
He don't know
no,
me. I
she
know him.
she knows you, and
Yeah,
he
they know
knows
you.
that
I
I'm
mean,
your son. Like, it's like,
like,
that thing be so funny. My mom be, oh, that's
So
man. I'm telling you,
so
reminiscing
Lou, I
about
want to
being
get your
country.
thought on Howie's draft this year. What were your thoughts on how everything played out? And
Howie did his thing, man. Like Howie always does his thing. And the crazy thing about Howie is Howie thought he had a trade to move up to 22 to take Campbell.
yeah,
And
yeah,
his trade fell through, which
yeah,
is awesome because
they were
moving
talking
up
about that.
eight spot,
That he was literally calling for an hour. Thought he had one with the
right?
Chargers.
Moving up eight, maybe eight spots in the draft. That's a lot of capital in the first round. So we would have had to give up a lot. Now, I thought, and of course, being a Clemson fan, I know it says Texas, but Andrew Makuba played 3 years at Clemson. I was a huge Andrew Makuba fan. I thought he did right by transferring because he played free safety freshman year and he was an freshman All American, rookie of the year, all that stuff. They kind of played him differently the next 2 years and kind of hurt his stock a little bit. And plus, he wanted to be closer to home. He's from Austin, I think. Well, he's from Africa, I think, Congo maybe. But he grew up. He moved to Austin, and I think he wanted to be near home. It worked out for him. Um, I love it.
And then you
Speaking
also
of
getting
Texas, my cousin got drafted, Vernon Broughton, by the Saints. Good stuff. Um, and then
the
who did we get in
tackle
the
from
third round?
Nebraska is a good solid
Was he a
replacement.
third rounder
Yeah, he was. It was a
or
third round.
fourth?
He was. No, he was
Fourth,
third
fourth.
round.
We traded out. No, he was fourth round. We traded out in the
Okay, I
third
got
round.
you. Well, he was
Yeah,
our third pick.
Ty Robinson. I don't know a lot about him. Just you know how it is. Once the draft happens, you start reading and looking stuff. But you know
I
how
know he
the
played on
Eagles
both
are.
sides of the ball. That's what I know.
We're a rotational defensive line, and if you got size, speed, power, and you're fresh, you can make things happen. So I thought at some point with the quarterback slipping that we might try to draft Shador. Since we traded away our third quarterback. Uh, and hear those rumors, but you never know what's true. I liked our draft. I thought we would take a wideout at some point. Um, but hey,
Especially since we're
I
declining
am
on
not.
Dotson's fifth-year
Yeah,
option.
well, you can't sign him back for what 16. You can't do that.
Yeah,
Um, but
get your comp pick and let him hit the market.
yeah, I trust Howie. I mean, I know he took Rager over Justin Jefferson, but I trust Howie. I'm gonna say that
Look at the capital we got for next year,
until I
right?
die. Oh yeah,
You got,
we're going to have a lot of picks next year to move. We can move around the way how he likes to move around, and
Yeah.
hell, we could jump to get whoever we want at some point in this draft with all that draft capital.
3 third round picks. Oh yeah, y'all going. Oh my goodness.
Dude, they got 3 third round, 2 fourths,
How is it?
man.
How is it? How is the? How is the? How is
In
the?
four fifths. In 4/5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll never use all those. They'll use those to move up, move around. They'll never draft all those guys.
Yeah, I
And
agree with that.
I love it. I love. I trust Howie. At this point, I'm not gonna
Oh yeah.
have a
How he
word to
sit
say.
back and goes, look, man. I won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback named Nick Foles. I've been to 2 Super Bowls with a second round pick. The people that's the reason why Carson Wentz is out of town right now. And my quarterback outperformed Patrick Mahomes in both Super Bowls. He lost by a field goal the first time. Was a Super Bowl MVP the second. It's like how we're saying, look, dude, the NFL is draft, developed, re-sign. That's it.
Mhm.
Draft them, develop them, re-sign.
You decide who you're gonna resign. You get comp picks. We can't pay Milton Williams what well, we were never gonna pay him what he
Yeah.
was gonna get on the free agent market. You got to pay Jalen Carter next year anyways. You can't do that. We were never gonna pay him. We were never gonna pay Josh what he's getting, and that's why he drafted defensive ends. Now, do we lose depth? Depth is important in the NFL, right?
Y'all got
We lost,
y'all got freaking Ojulari.
but we got Ojalar. That's
giant.
what I'm saying. We drafted nobody. We drafted Milton Williams as depth and developed him, just like Ben just said. You got to keep doing the same because you can't pay everyone.
Yeah.
This ain't baseball. You can't pay everyone. And sometimes you have to make tough decisions, and he's learning from some of the past mistakes of paying guys late or whatever. You know, be happy for them getting paid and move on. You got your base, man. You got a foundation that's signed for at least 3 more years. You can do something with that.
Man, them boys, they cashing out, and they going to other teams saying Milton, all them guys, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, them guys going to other teams saying, "Hey, dude, you think Philly gonna be good next year?" Hell yeah, yeah. This Darius Slay gone, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson gone, Milton Williams gone.
I was really surprised that we traded CJ for. We didn't get a lot for him, but I wasn't surprised that he's no longer there. Like CJ made, he was like hard, you know.
He was, but
CJ made a lot of. CJ is kind of not undisciplined, but he does his own thing a lot, and Vic doesn't like that. And
they'll deal with it. They'll deal with it until they'll say CJ, look, man. They'll say this. They'll say we were the first team to let you really play safety. You was like a slot corner safety when you was in New Orleans, right? We brought you over to be a safety, 6 picks. I think second team All Pro. Went to the Super Bowl with you. Leave on a 1-year deal. Leave. Go to Detroit. We brought you back for more money. We gave you a like 33 mil, right?
They were going to pay him last year when he
left,
and he overplayed his market. We were going to re-sign CJ.
You know who Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is. If you want to compare him to a player, not the same player. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is like Tyreek Hill. Kansas City said, "Dude, you think we won't be able to win without you, Tyreek? Like you really, dude? Listen." And you went over there saying this asinine stuff like, "Yeah, man, Tua is more accurate than Patrick Mahomes." Stop it, man. Tua is accurate. Right. But you don't got to say stuff. We can see the games, right? We can see, right? Like we can see the games. I say so. Now Chauncey get to go to Houston in the AFC South. They won the last 2 years, but I mean, you go from Philadelphia, Texas to no taxes in Texas, but you got to go to Houston. And guess what? Guess who Houston can't beat? They can't beat. They can't beat Baltimore. They're not gonna beat Kansas City. They're not gonna beat Buffalo. They might not beat Cincinnati, and they sure as hell ain't gonna beat Philly. But in order to play Philly, you got to see him in the Super Bowl. Y'all won't be there. Y'all won't be there. Nope. So congratulations, though. You get to go to Houston.
I just got the Bleacher Report said Abdul Carter, Shador McCord, and other guys got prank called. That dude was just prank calling people, man. He said they called Abdul Carter for when Jacksonville traded up to 2.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you
Like,
something,
dude,
boy.
20. He's 21, man. He's not a kid.
Yeah, that 20. That is 21. Listen, my mom had me at 20. She had my brother at 19. 21 years old. Some of us couldn't wait to get 21 years old so we could tell mama, I'm 21 years old now, right? I'm
Right,
a grown
right.
man. She said, well, hey, grown man, get the hell out,
Get
get
out
out
my
my
house.
house.
Get your grown ass out of my house.
Yeah,
Well, I
man.
mean, since we're talking about this nonsense for the draft, let's kind of get into this because the Sanders kids definitely had some draft saga going on. Obviously, we already know Dion and Shador kind of overplayed their hand, and it literally backfired in their faces. The payout loss alone. He got 6.5 million last year for his entire contract. He's only going to get 4.6 million. So that's going to be that's something that they got to deal with now. And it's also rough when you look at the overall picture because his other son winds up having goes undrafted, winds up having to fire dad as his agent, and within an hour of him firing his dad, where does he wind up? Down there with Todd Bowles down there in Tampa Bay. So he gets a chance to try to make his defense. They had quite a roller coaster of a few days, regardless of why people feel he dropped here, he moved there. I think it's a multitude of things. One, obviously, having your dad as your agent isn't always going to work out and play in your favor, especially when you think more highly of yourself than he is, and he's not in every one of these GM coaches owners number portfolio, so you're not going to have some of that pool as seeing as immediately as his son lets him go, he winds up in Tampa Bay. So it's just it was an interesting weekend. But I think a lot of people were sitting there saying that the league colluded to do this, that, or the third. I think he did a lot of that stuff, damaging that stuff in the draft process, sitting there saying, "I know where my son's not going to play," and I think he purposely bombed some of those meetings to not end up there.
I think they overplayed their hand, and I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't know what's true, what's not. But what you hear from a lot of people, and I know quite a few people, is that they purposely bombed interviews because they overplayed their hand, and they thought they were going first round. If you bomb all these interviews and you don't go first round or second, all those teams that you bombed are going to be back on the clock. It's not one round. It's 7 rounds. They're all going to come back around. They're going to say, "Screw it. You don't want to deal with me. We don't need you." Okay.
Yep.
We don't need you. And I just got sick of I got sick of hearing all the people like on ESPN who are friends with Prime and all that talk about how he was a top 3 pick. And then I'll talk to guys I know like in the league or whatnot, and they go, "No, he's not. He's probably if he wasn't Prime's son and they were talking about him so much, we would be talking about him as a 3rd round guy." Again, all you need is one. Ben knows. All you need is one team to fall in love with you
Mm-hmm.
to be a 1st round pick. That's all you need. But from what I was hearing, that was where he was supposed to be, and I think overplaying his hand, tanking interviews, all that type stuff. Teams were like, whatever, and I've heard some of the owners were like, take him off the board if he's that way, which is fine, right? Now, in terms of like the NIL loss, so to speak, NIL is NIL. That's endorsements.
Yeah.
He's going to make money. He's already got a few commercials. He's going to make that money, quote unquote NIL money. What he missed out on is millions. If you go in those interviews and you convince a team that you're that guy, they might say, "Screw this, man. I'm gonna trade back into the 1st round. I'm getting this guy, or I'm gonna take him top 50. If he's there, I'm taking him. And I'm gonna give him a shot." And when you're drafted that high, you get multiple chances. You're not drafted to be kind of camp guy and possibly getting cut, right? You're going to get a chance to win that job, have that job, a legitimate chance. Now his other son, Shiloh, Shiloh was never going to get drafted. Shiloh didn't get signed because he fired his dad as an agent. He was probably going to get signed as a free agent regardless, right? I don't think that mattered in the grand scheme of things. He was an okay guy, okay safety. He missed a lot of tackles. Super, he wanted to make the big hits all the time. He probably wasn't getting drafted. He probably was going to sign as a free agent. And I'm not sitting here saying facts. I know everything. I'm actually handicapping what I'm saying. We hear things we don't know at all. But I just really got sick of the whole thing. Prime did this himself.
Yeah.
He started out years ago, and he went on Tamron Hall's show and said, "I'm gonna be the navigational system." What dad wouldn't do that? I know where he's gonna go. I know where I want. You can't do that. No matter who you are, you don't run these teams, and you're not that great. If you're that great, you have that leverage. If you're not that great, dude, when you're great, you get away with things. When you're a great athlete, you get. You remember when Ray Rice punched his wife?
Mm-hmm.
The NFL wasn't going to do anything about it because he was a great player at the time. The tape got out. They had the tape. They knew what happened. They knew what they saw it. They knew what happened. If that were me, some backup 5th round guy in Philadelphia, they would have put me up. They would have made an example out of me. I would have been done forever, gone. They would have helped them press charges against me. But when you have more talent, you get away with more. And I know Ray Rice is catching a stray here, but I mean, it is what it is. When you have and people are saying, and people are making it a race thing. Why could Eli do it and Dion can't do it? It's because he's white. Like, no, it's because Eli was the number 1 pick. He was at the point in the process. He was the number 1 guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you're the number 1 guy, you can say, if you draft me, I'm not coming there. If you've got the number 1 pick and you say that guy doesn't want to come here, and they're telling me this, I'm going to make a move. And that's what they did. They made a move, and guess what they ended up with? They ended up with Drew Brees and LaDainian Tomlinson and Tim Dwight because Eli said he didn't want to be there. He had the leverage. The Giants said, we want him. They wanted him in New York. Perfect, right?
That's my draft. 2004 was my draft. We knew that Eli was going to be
different.
And the Giants knew.
Right.
The Giants said, "Well, look, we'll get Phillip Rivers number 4, and we'll just switch him. We'll just trade him." But you just make a great point, Luther. Leverage is not a perceived thing. Because if you perceiving it wrong, you're gonna lose. And I think for Dion forgets sometimes, dude. A lot of times, man, people gonna talk to you because you Dion, you intriguing, you charismatic, you Dion, you prime.
Prime.
But here's the thing, right? If that's the case, why ain't your son play corner? Why ain't Shiloh play corner? Because he couldn't. I got to play safety. And there's nothing wrong with that. And the thing about it, never in the history of the game of football is the perceived top 3 pick going to 5th round. He could do the worst interviews. He ain't going 5th round.
He ain't going 5th. He ain't going 5th.
This how you know the interview process is sometimes more important than what you did on the field. In 2002, Dante Stallworth was the number 1 receiver taken in that draft. You know why? Because when they went to the combine, they asked every receiver that year, what is your weakness? He's the only one said, my weaknesses? I ain't got no weaknesses, man. I mean, you can ask my team. He's the only one that did. Every other receiver said they got weaknesses. If you would think that of all players, a Sanders will dominate an interview, you know what my dad is? That's what I thought you wanted from my dad. Not your talent. I want that charisma. I want to go in a room and dominate. It's like a town hall meeting. I'm holding court. You're going to bomb an interview? That's like somebody saying, hey, man, you the number 1 engineer coming out of Georgia Tech and the number 1 engineering company firm want to hire you. You're going to bomb it? No,
Right.
I'm more than that saying, listen, man, since I'm going to be you guys' #1 employee in a year, tell me what I got to do with it. A Sanders DNA child bombed the interview. They don't even sound like, they don't even, I believe he did do it because if I think I'm already him, let me I would tell any prospect listening, you are not equals with a GM and a owner. You are, I don't care who you are. You trying to listen until you get the job. You ain't got the job, baby.
You ain't
You
got the
got to
job.
get the job now.
Yeah. It
Now
was tough to watch.
it was.
It was tough to watch.
I
And
don't like.
I
I don't like
wasn't
being
ru-
lazy.
I wasn't rooting against him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't rooting against him. I just, you hear all the things and you go, man, if all this is true and purposely tanking the interviews, and this ain't gonna go well for him. That was my thought process, and it sucked. It
Yeah.
sucked watching him go through
He did
that
what
for
he did.
3 days.
We'll see. We'll. I've never
Listen,
seen anything like it though.
I've never seen anything like that.
And I was in 2005 was the Maurice Correct draft where he went third. He was the last pick of the third round where he thought he was gonna reshape guys get the country out of high school. But I hope that all the youngest watching realize this. Listen, your dad, we got listen, we got sons and we gonna direct them. When they say, "Hey, Daddy, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to dominate?" What do you dominate that boy in them interviews? That's where you separate yourself. Yeah. What you mean? That is you selling you. You got to sell because there, like you said, Luther, there could be a part of your game that I don't really like. But boy, you can say something to make me go. If you come in there and say, "Listen, I know you probably got to
listen."
That's how you got to do it.
Listen, Pittsburgh Steelers coach. Who is Pittsburgh Steelers coach?
Mike
Tomlin.
The Steelers. He wasn't their first choice. Everybody around the league will tell you that he dominated his interview. And the Steelers organization felt we have no choice. I've never seen someone so well prepared and so knowledgeable and so on point in their interview. We got to hire him. And Tomlin's still there. Obviously, Steelers don't fire their coaches. They don't live in a microwave age where they think it's gonna happen overnight and you got to win every year. Which I love. But that's what happened with him. I know it's a whole, that's a coach and all that stuff. But when you present yourself, listen, man, I'm not stupid. I'm a black man, and you hear all the stories about they don't want him to be unapologetically black and this, that, and the other. That ain't. If you are purposely tanking your interviews and basically telling the team you don't want them to draft you, and then they do just that.
Oh yeah,
you can't get mad.
You don't.
Right.
You can't get mad.
Team that I did well with. But let me tell Shador and every other future prospect again. Who you think GMs talk to? They talk to other GMs. So if I say, wait a minute, he said, what are they with y'all?
Bro, they're talking to other GMs.
It's like you really think
they're in one. It's like a fraternity. That's like NFL players. People would ask me, and I'm like, dude, when I play ball, if I went to another city and I ran into Ben and we had never met before, and I would be like, Ben, right? You play for you would be like, Lou, all right, don't go here, don't go here, don't go here. Where you staying? You need a ride. We never met before. It's one big fraternity. That's who we gonna talk to. I'm not gonna talk to the random person in the airport, but I'm gonna talk to him, not because he's a professional athlete. It's because he's in my fraternity, and I'm be like, I know this dude. And there've been plenty of times where I've gone someplace and I go, man, you play at so. I'm like, man, we played against each other or blah, blah, blah. And then you vibe with that person, and that's who you're going to communicate with that entire weekend, wherever you are.
If I take an interview, that's who I am. Think about this. People go, but what if it's
that's who you are?
It's like this. I say, hold on for a second.
But he's 23, Ben.
There are more people in jobs right now who did not have the qualifications, who did not have the education, but you sat me in front of this dude, and I said, dude, you sat me in front of him? how'd you? And he walk out and go, hey, dude, what happened? Hey, remember last week when I went up in that little Fortune 500 company, I had that little suit that I got from like Men's Warehouse. I got it for like $80. They hired me, dude. I'm getting a second.
They hired me
because they
because
sat
I
down
presented myself.
and
Because they sat down and talked to me.
and
They didn't talk to my resume.
and this is I ain't giving the kid a wallow, but he go $1 million worth. He go $1 million worth of free game. The goal in any interview is not get them to say yes. The goal is to make it hard to say no. That's interviewing. No. Make it hard to say no to me,
dude. You know that's what happened in Philly. I'm a 5th round pick. We had a bunch of tight ends, right? And one of the coaches was like, "Dude, they don't have to say yes." He said, "Dude, you got to make it difficult or cut day for them to say we gonna let this dude go." Dude, and they kept me on that team as a 4th tight end where they didn't keep. They're like, man, if we let this dude go, we know he's kind of developmental guy. He'll get picked up immediately by another team. What you said, hit it on, dude. Make it hard for them to say no. Or, like you said, GMs talk to each other. The film is out there, and if in Philadelphia '97 they were going to cut me, that GM would have called one of his friends on another team, and they would have said, "Man,
being 20 makes you a no. Being 23, being 20 makes you a no. 19 makes you a no."
They would have said, "Man, we about to cut this."
We get a little bit further into this. You know, we're about 3 or 4 minutes before this is about to close off. We got to run this back, but the 3 of us. So
yes, sir.
The 3 of us got to come together and figure out a time and day. But you know, we're up against that 2-hour mark where we like to cut things off. Luther. You know how I always typically end things, kind of throw it over to you. Anyone, you know, anyone you want to tell everyone where to follow you on your social sites, you know, anyone you want to give some love to, the time is yours, my friend.
Nah, man, I just give love to the Eagles. That's all, man. The draft just happened. We're champs. Go Birds. I also want to say go Birds to Emmitt Smith. You can follow me at Rashard84.
Listen, that's right. Right.
Listen, it was surprising to hear Emmitt say that. Like, what we always say that. Yeah. What else are we supposed to say? Like, are we not supposed to be happy that we're currently champs?
Yeah, right.
Like when Dallas was winning and Emmitt was there, that's all we heard. Rightfully so. And we still hear from Emmitt because he's one of the GOATs.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days.
We don't like it when the shoe's on the other foot, but, you know.
But what else are we supposed to do?
Ben, your last thoughts as we got like about a minute left here.
I just want to say this. One of these days, Luther and Steven, I just want to know what that's like. Y'all sitting there saying, go Birds. I'm a Dirty Bird fan. So one of these days, you know, I hope I get a chance to say, hey, man, this is what it's like to win the Super Bowl, man. And I'm not jumping. I'm not jumping bandwagons. It's going to be with the Falcons. They still going to let me
know you're an adopted Eagles fan. Don't lie.
listen, my brother is an Eagles fan, but, you know, listen, if you see me wearing green, it's because I'm wearing an alternate Atlanta Falcons jersey.
Hey, listen, man, you're a bird.
I'm a bird.
It'll be easy for you to fly. Easy for you to fly right over into that other nest.
Yeah, man.
Nah, man, don't be a bandwagoner. Stick with the Dirty Birds.
He's not. He just got much love and respect for what we do over here. So, But to our listeners, everyone in the chat room today, appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure you're locked in. Like, subscribe, smash that notification bell. I'm Steve. He's Ben. That's Luther down bottom. This was another episode of The Fan in the End. We will catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good one, my friends. Peace out.